Hey, Miami sports fans. Stop by Canesware today at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
It's back.
The green train is running.
Bobby, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another edition of Fins Talk Today. With me is my special guest, Rob, also known as Dolphins Thirsty. If you're thirsty for Dolphins information, head on over to dolphinsthirsty.com.
Thank you, Hank. Couldn't say it better myself. So how are you doing up there in Orlando today before you head down south?
I'm looking out and it's a little bit overcast, been a little bit of rain, but you know what? I just came back from living in Oregon for about 12 years, so I think I can handle the rain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you can handle the rain. You're used to it. It is sometimes gets ugly on the turnpike driving and all that, but you do fine.
Yeah, you just got to slow down here and there. You got to go from 120 to 100. Oh, never mind. No, I always drive around the speed limit.
Hey, I know, and that Corvette is made for going the speed limit. So
people tell me
Evan,
that people send me DMs and say they passed me on the highway usually.
Well, hey, your car stands out. Everyone can see your car. That's for sure. It's sure.
Fun.
We got Evan and Steve in the house and Hunter.
Fins up, Hunter, Evan.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting year with the wrap. This was the first year that I put the wrap on, and it kind of blew up a little bit. Like I said, when I was doing it, it was all, hey, fins up, doll. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you, girl. Yeah, and, I didn't know it was going to be such a thing, but, a lot of people love it. Everywhere I go, every place, when I go eat, people come and find me to talk to me about it. It's fun. It's fun. And I don't think there's a place I go where people don't stop and take pictures.
No, I know for sure. I know you share a lot of the pictures that people take of your car. So, that when you happen to see them taking pictures. So
yeah, when I'm at the stadium, you know what I do sometimes? When I'm at the stadium, everybody's leaving. That's when they see the car a lot. So I start taking pictures of people taking pictures of the car now. Just as a little bit of fun for something to do. And, you wind up with a lot of folks in your photographs.
No, I'm sure you do. That's a very popular look. That car looks really awesome.
Thank you, sir. It was all out of my love for something different. I didn't want the same old Corvette that the next guy had. And that was really my drive behind it. That was my total drive.
Oh, it's definitely not the same car that everyone else has. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then I said, hey, I might as well go Dolphins. I'm a big Dolphins fan. Yeah. Back at you.
Yep. Back at you, Doll. Hammer time. New attitude. Steve Malloy. All thank you for joining us on this Saturday.
Fins up, everybody. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Shall we stop worrying about our own personal tasks?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Contenders or pretenders? That's what Bobby told me. But that was last week, was contenders or pretenders. So right now, a lot of folks are starting to think that the Miami Dolphins are pretenders. You know, we came off a high defeating the Cowboys, you know, the week before, 22-20. The Dolphins, you know, did what they needed to do. We destroyed the Broncos beginning of the season. It was 70-20, laid an egg and got drummed by the Baltimore Ravens 56-19. Dolphins have 5 losses so far this season. In those 5 losses, they have scored an average of 19 points in those games, while their opponents have scored an average of 37 points.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. I know.
Wow, what a landslide. At this point, Thirsty, would you consider Miami pretenders?
A lot's going to be answered tomorrow night. To me, the story is open. I don't think they're pretenders yet, but if they don't win tomorrow and they don't win a playoff game, then definitely this was a pretender. Not saying it wasn't fun. Not saying that we didn't get some injuries or whatever, but that's part of football, so I'm not making excuses. So, yes, I'd be very disappointed, but I'm going to let the story unfold before I answer that question. Let's see what they do tomorrow night.
Yeah, there's still more to come. You're 100% right. There's still more to come with this. This story isn't over until we play the Bills for the second time this season.
Right.
Now, we went up to their house and we got stomped on. It happens.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Next game. So we're on to the next game. Here we are. Poof, suddenly.
Yep, it's upon us. So, but I'm with you, Hank. This story hasn't been told. So let's see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, and then tomorrow night I'm gonna be down there. I'm gonna be at the game. Are you gonna be at the game, Thirsty?
No, this game I'm not. Just going to be from TV, man. I wasn't going to, because I don't have the season tickets just go around. Hopefully some of these bums get kicked out that were reselling all their tickets, and I'm on the waiting list, but I've been on the waiting list for months. So we will see. So we will see if some people get kicked out, and next year I can get my season tickets, because I hear they're sending out letters to people that are reselling their tickets all the time. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good, because if you don't want to go, make some room for somebody else. Stop trying to make it like a business.
That's what they're treating it like the stock market. They're like, oh, we can flip these tickets. So hopefully, but no, tomorrow I'll just be watching from the comfort of my own home. I didn't want to pay
what
the $300.
I got today.
Well, yeah, I saw Big E. He had just played them on his Twitter, and I was saying I hope they're needed to be used, at least one of them. So
come on, baby, come to me.
Yeah, I know. At least it'd be so beautiful for you to get to go, because that'd be your first playoff game as a season ticket holder.
Yeah, that would be my first playoff game anywhere going ever.
Well,
so that would be totally off the chain. I would my eyeballs would be bugging out if it happened. I don't know. Fins up from across the pond. I see you there.
Yeah, Mr. Courtright in the house.
Ralph.
Yeah. So no, I hope you get to use those, Hank, because it's been way too long since our Dolphins have hosted a playoff game. That's why, to me, winning tomorrow night is a must. It's a must, because anything else will be leading to that disappointment we were talking about at the top of the show. So they got to go out there and win. Find a way. I know they're injured, but you know what? You got to still go out and find a way to win. This is a team you built to win now. You better go win now. So get out.
Okay. So let's play a little game of who would you rather then. Who would you rather with the game between the Ravens and the Steelers, plus the Colts and the Texans, and tomorrow and the game with Jacksonville and Tennessee? We will know who Miami faces in the wild card round next week.
Today's game will help that, I guess.
Yes. Between Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Kansas City, or Jacksonville, which team would you rather face? And what team would you rather
Miami stay away from?
Buffalo, as far as staying away from, because you have your chance. But it is tough because I mean, if we win and they still beating them 2 weeks in a row, that's just really hard, man. Because I mean, if you win, but then it works out the other games, Buffalo gets out, then you got to go out there and beat them twice in a row. That's really hard. Not that I'm afraid of them, but that would be the hard thing for Buffalo, beating the team twice in a row, back-to-back weeks. So I'd rather avoid Buffalo.
I'd
I would
rather
take.
avoid going up to Buffalo also.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
that for sure.
that's
That's
the
for
other
sure.
half of the
Because if you lose
equation. You gotta go.
then
You gotta go
if
on
you
the
lose
road.
tomorrow, then all your playoff games are going to be on the road. I mean, if you
Yeah.
beat Kansas City, then you're going to have to go into Baltimore or go into Buffalo. Forget about it. So win tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So I would say avoid Buffalo. Dahl doesn't want to hear this because she's in a divided household of Pittsburgh and Dolphins, but I would like to take on Pittsburgh. I think we can match up well against them. And
I told my buddy he's in Oregon. I told him, I said, he's a big Pittsburgh fan. And I told him, I said, it's gotta be. I said, it's gotta be, and I keep telling him, come on, Pittsburgh. Come on, Pittsburgh. I was like, it's your team. They gotta come through for me.
Yeah, I definitely would rather face Pittsburgh. Sorry, Courtney, but much rather face Pittsburgh than Buffalo. Buffalo is the one I want to avoid like the plague.
Yeah, well, I don't. For me, I don't want to meet Buffalo, but if Kansas City puts their team back together, they're not somebody I want to face a little bit. I'm not saying they're my first choice, but I'm just saying they're not somebody I'd want to face either, because when they get going, and if Andy Reid comes up with a few plays here and there like he typically does, you could be in trouble facing them in the playoffs.
Oh, of course. I mean, they're the defending Super Bowl champs, so you can't kill them until they're out. So you can't until someone beats them and knocks them out of the playoffs. They're still the defending Super Bowl champion, and so they're definitely not an easy out. That would tell us in the first, if we have to play them in the first round, that means yes, tomorrow night didn't go well. So I'm hoping we can at least avoid Kansas City for an extra week, So.
Yeah. And, you got Jacksonville or Pittsburgh, and between those two, obviously, I'd rather play out of state for me. I'd rather play somebody from out of state. I don't want to play Jacksonville yet.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather play Jacksonville later or something, if I can. But all right. Wow, we're kind of just whipping through all these so far.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, let me ask you another question then. All right, rest or play after the injuries to Xavier Howard and Bradley Chubb, plus the near scary injury to Tua, with the playoffs now secure, would you rest your key players in this game against Buffalo? Or with the second seed and the AFC East title on the line, would you start whoever could play?
Whoever can play is starting, because the difference of having a home playoff game, being number 2 seed, and going on the road for all 3 games is a huge difference. If you can walk and you can chew gum, you're playing tomorrow. I mean, as long as the trainers, I don't want anyone getting future hurt. But if the trainers say, hey, he risked no further injury in going out there, you send him out there. If the trainer says, hey, he could risk further injury, then of course you don't put him out there. But if the trainer says, coach, he's good to go, you put that guy's butt out in the field playing football tomorrow, because this is why these guys play. They don't, Mike McDaniel said, hey, we don't do this to be average. You got out there to be the best. And to be the best, you got to beat the best. So go out there with your best players and give it your all. And that's what I would say. I'm 100% on they play if they can.
You play to win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Herm Edward, you play to win the game.
Yeah. Hey, the Back It Up Binge podcast says play.
Exactly. You play to win the game. That's the way it is. It doesn't matter who's hurt. Doesn't matter who's out. If you still have something to fight for, you play. And we have a lot to lose by not playing our starters. We have too much to lose by not playing our starters.
Yep.
You
No,
know,
I
everybody gets
agree.
a little banged up here and there in the season. If they can play through it, they will. We all know they will.
Yeah. No, for
So
sure. And like
my
I say,
question is,
yep.
who's replacing both our gone defensive ends? Thirsty.
No, I know. I mean, well, you're looking at Ogba, unfortunately, and Van Ginkel, and maybe, Ingram stepping up in there. But man, if you would have told me those are the guys we were counting on at the beginning of the season, I would have said, oh my goodness. And I like Van Ginkel, but we still had Chubb and Phillips way ahead of Van Ginkel and Ogba and Ingram. They're all decent, but losing Chubb and Phillips, that's tough. And to think going into next offseason, two guys we're counting on, there's a good possibility they won't be on our team next year because Ogbah's contract's coming off the books. We're going to have to get rid of him because he's owed tons of money next year. And then Van Ginkel's a free agent. So we're counting on two guys. Maybe they'll go out there to play for that money, if nothing else, for team pride. And maybe they'll go out and ball, but it's a scary situation when you consider that was like our strength, one of our strengths going into this season. And now we're down to guys that no one would have thought would be our frontline guys.
Well, this concerns me, though. Does it concern you?
Oh, yes, it does.
How about the fact that it sounds like our offensive line is back?
What's that?
How about the fact that it sounds like some of our offensive line is
Yeah,
come
it's
back?
that. If Hunt can go out there, that's an improvement. And I would love to see him out there. Of course, we're not going to get the guy that we really need, Connor Williams. He's done until next year, into next year. But hey, getting Robert Hunt back and getting some of these other guys back, of course, is a good thing, and that helps. And because we're going to have to be able to run it. But yeah, Bang It Up Binge podcast. Now, that being said, you wrestle guys when you are being blown out. Yes, get the guys out of there if the game's out of hand. I think we learned that lesson against the Ravens. But if you're competitive, you're going out there with your starters to start this game. And hey,
well, they said that. Hey, Ralph.
Well, I don't think they're. Well, Hank would tell us a pregame report maybe how many Buffalo fans are overtaking the stadium. So
Yeah. I might pop in before the game.
Tell us.
You got it, Ralph.
Yeah.
You got it, Ralph. We will make as much noise as humanly possible.
Right. When Buffalo has the ball. Yeah, when Buffalo has the ball. So because some Dolphin fans start making noise, and I tell them, you guys aren't supposed to do that when we have the ball. They start saying, let's make noise. I'm like, dude, we got the ball. It's supposed to be the time to be quiet. You don't need to see your own quarterback doing this because we're making noise when we're at home. But hey, it's all fun, man. We just got to go out there. Hopefully our fans show up and all these tickets aren't as bad as we're hearing that it's going to be like 52% Buffalo fans. So,
well, then let's move on and let's get to the keys. What are the three keys to victory for you, Rob? What do you got?
well, once again, it's the old standby football 101. Avoid turnovers. Tua's done a good job recently up until that Ravens game. Then he turned the ball over twice. But leading up to that game, he had gone several games with no interceptions and fumbles. So avoid the turnovers. Try to create them. Try to force. Because for whatever reason, Josh Allen is an elite quarterback against the Miami Dolphins. His numbers are insane against the Miami Dolphins. So you got to find a way to limit the damage against him. He's 9-2 career against the Miami Dolphins. For whatever reason, he just has the Miami Dolphins number. I don't know if we looked at him wrong in the scouting process and we made him mad every time we play against him, but he comes out. So somehow we got to contain and limit the big plays from Josh Allen. So that's my second one. Avoid turnovers, number one. Somehow slow down the Josh Allen machine that he is against the Miami Dolphins. And the third one is like I always go to be well balanced, Mike McDaniel. Stick with running the football if it's working. Obviously, if it's not working, then do what you do. But if it's working and Achane is getting like 7 yards a carry like he was against the Ravens, stick with the freaking running game and be balanced because you don't want the ball in the hands of Josh Allen all that much because of his earlier stated dominance over the Miami Dolphins. So.
Whoa. All right. I'm pretty close to you. Kinda.
Oh, that's good. I hope you have some different ones. It's good. It's good to have some different takes.
Oh, I'll forget it by the time I get there, but don't worry about it. No. The first key to victory, like you were talking about, as far as the turnover battle, you got to definitely win the turnover battle.
Yes.
That is huge. When we play the Bills, it's always come into play on how well we will or will not do against them. So I agree with you 100% on that. My second one, however, is go for points. Don't wait. Don't wait. Go deep. You're on 2nd and 2 or whatever it is. Go deep. Every time you get that lump play on 1st down, go deep.
Yep,
you have to score points against this Buffalo Bills team. They always come out and crush us with a huge score. And we score piddly points like 19 or 17. We don't score anything. We can't do that this game. We have got to come out and score. I don't care if it's running, flying, whatever it is.
Right.
We got to score. And if I was in McDaniel's shoes, I would be dialing up all kinds of down the field plays for this game.
No, they need to. I agree.
The third key that I have for victory is we've got to get push up the middle. And let me tell you why. You're not going to get it off the edge as much as you were with Phillips and Chubb. So we got to get Sealer and Wilkins pushing that middle up and getting Josh Allen to step over a step, and that's where we'll get him.
Yep. Hey,
so my third key is push up the middle on defense up against Josh Allen. Hey, fins up, Ray.
And
Thanks again for the hat, bro. I really appreciate it. And tell your sons I said hello.
Hey, Kenya and Hammer Time. Don't worry, we saw you sneak in there. There's your kudos for coming in, guys. Thank you, King. We just have to.
Kenya.
Yeah. On this one, we need a running game to work well for time. Yeah, we do. I mean, we need to be balanced and then counter it for like what Hank says. Throw the ball down the field, but still have that running game in your back pocket too, because it makes it harder to defend if you're running and throwing it. So they don't know what's coming.
Definitely. So. But we got to stop with this. We hand the ball off and get 2 yards. No,
yeah, right.
No. That you got to stop with these swing passes and you lose a yard. Do something different. Do something different. It's time. I don't care what it is. Just do something different. Because if you do the same old thing against the Buffalo Bills, we're going to get the same old results. I don't like the same old results.
Nope.
So those are my
you're 100% right. This is it, because McDaniel keeps on hinting and all. Oh, I haven't shown everything in my playbook yet. But we're almost at the end of the season. When are you going to break it out? You don't have much more time to break it out. You better not be saving it for the playoffs. Let's go get it down and get that home field game our first week of the postseason.
Yeah, it just has to happen. It's that simple. How about you, Thirsty? You got anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Before we do our predictions and all that.
I will give you some in a minute, but here's what he said. He went with frauds, and we talked on this in the beginning, but we said pretenders or contenders, Hunter, but frauds, the same kind of point. If we can't beat the Bills at home, we are officially frauds. We will see, Hunter, but yes, that's why I'm waiting to put any labels on this team. Let's see what happens tomorrow night. So I like how you word that. Hopefully we don't have to. I think the Dolphins are going to win this game somehow, some way. Even if all their injured players, they're going to muster up, like you said, Evan. They're going to have to score points. Because if it comes to defensive battle, we're in trouble because our defense is really banged up. We have no Xavier Howard. We're really banged up over there too. So we really so I don't want I want it to be an offensive game. This is the game where Tua can show the world he can step up and sling the ball and win a high scoring game against a good team. So I'm saying the Dolphins win like a 31-28, something like that, where both teams
Ooh.
move the ball, but we just happen to score a little bit more. And maybe that's a little bit of my homer kicking in, because I know Buffalo's owned us lately, but I just still find a way that being at home, I just find some way that the Dolphins win this game.
Well, I'm pretty close to. No, I'm not. My score is simple and sweet. Miami's going to come out and stomp some butt in the mud. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen, folks. They're going to come out slinging. They're going to come out with the ball going deep, whatever you want to call it, throwing dimes into the bucket, whatever. Miami, throw the ball deep. Get some deep plays. Get the running backs out of the backfield, whatever it takes. Get us some chunk plays on first down. Score will be 35-21 Miami Dolphins.
Wow, I like it, man. So you have us winning by a couple touchdowns. I love it.
Yeah.
So
we need to come out the gates hungry. Got to come out hungry. And if we do those three keys that we both mentioned, forget about it. This team should do fine.
Hey, Mr. Dunlop. And speaking of that, I give you thumbs up. And guys, if you haven't done so, nail those thumbs up for us, because they're really fins up. So make sure and Fred, Mr. Dunlop, thank you for joining us here today. So no, that you covered it well, Hank. That's what I say, man. You just got to score, because Buffalo's going to get theirs. You got to get yours. And that's the bottom line.
Exactly. We it's not like we have a choice anymore. And if we drop it at this point in time, I don't know. I've been disappointed, going against the Bills too many times lately. This feels like back in the 80s and 90s when Marino was going up against Jim Kelly, and we just couldn't turn that corner on them.
I know Buffalo, because in the 1970s, the Miami Dolphins owned the Buffalo Bills, and now we're paying for those sins. It's like, man, it's like, it's just like, because they did not win one game against the Miami Dolphins in all the 1970s. And now since then, the tables have turned since the 1990s. So we got to get back to the dominance that we once wore over the Buffalo Bills. It's been way too long.
Definitely. All right, folks, thanks for joining us today. And as always, main thing is we want to win, but be a positive fan out there, folks. Don't be negative. We love positivity. Not everything's going to go your way. It's a sport. It's a game. But root for your team. Enjoy yourself. And as always, fins up.
Fins up, guys.